Hi lovers! Most people wait too long to plant in Florida, and by the time May comes around, their garden is already struggling. But as you can see, my garden is in full production. If you're wanting to get started and you don't know what to plant, come with me and I'm going to show you what you can still get in the ground before these hot summer days come and everything struggles and you miss your harvest season. I'm also going to let you know what you should not be planting right now to make sure that you don't lose courage and you get the most out of these hot, glorious summer months, because this is actually the most abundant time of the year. So we're gonna start right here in my squash patch. I can't even really call it a patch because this thing has gotten out of control in a way that I was not anticipating, but I'm so happy about. I already have here, and if you've been tuning in, you saw when I planted these in my what to plant in April. This is only 1 month of growth. So we already got pumpkins. They're not ready yet, but look at how, ow. Pumpkin plants are spiky, by the way. If you guys did not know, these things have these little tiny spikes on them that really do hurt. But we already have pumpkins, y'all. And this is just one. There's like 6 in here that I can easily show you. Here's another one. This one is a baby. All of my pumpkins have been getting pollinated so well because I planted all of these zinnias last month. I planted them in my what to plant in April video. So that is the benefit of companion planting. People be like, why do you plant things that you don't eat? Because these help make sure that I can grow food, things that I can eat without the bees pollinating the zinnias and the borage. I wouldn't be able to get all these beautiful pumpkins. We have 2 different types of squash planted over here. This is the Jarondale pumpkin and the Duchess. You can plant more Florida-friendly pumpkins like the Seminole pumpkin. I wanted to do something more experimental and fun, so I planted a blue pumpkin and a typical large orange pumpkin so that when it's time for Thanksgiving, I have pumpkins in the garden ready to make a delicious homegrown pumpkin pie. I also have some bananas interplanted, which aid in the shade of these pumpkins. They're not large yet, but when they do get large, it'll be right on time for those hot summer months, so it'll protect the pumpkins from that bright, direct light. I have another banana right here, and as you can see, the spacing is really tight. So that's another misconception about Florida or just gardening in Florida in general. I've learned things do not fret over being planted tightly together. They actually like it. So these bananas are only about 2 feet apart. I also have another banana right here. This one's a little further, but I have a trumpet flower planted here, some mombasa grass, Mexican sunflower. This is a highly dense, syntropic permaculture style garden that is absolutely thriving. And like I said, if you want to see what this looked like a month ago, go look at my video for what to plant in April. The results speak for themselves. My favorite part about being in the garden, I can snack whenever I want. And know that it's not processed, chemically treated, or any of that other weird stuff. And delicious. Oh my God, the antioxidants. The next thing that you should be planting right now are beans, specifically cowpeas. Cowpeas grow effortlessly in Florida gardens through the heat. These specifically are the Mavuno cowpeas. I got these from Mike at Ever Oak Garden. Last year, these were a ground cover in my garden, and they actually just reseeded themselves, which I love. Gardening, when stuff starts reseeding becomes so easy. You have to do no work and you can get harvest. I don't know what this is gonna look like because this pumpkin is already trying to creep out of its patch. So with this creeping cowpea, this whole area is going to be covered in a little bit, which again, I'm not upset with because that means more water retention, that means better production and more harvest. But if you want to grow something that you can eat from all summer long, definitely get you some beans in the ground. They're heavy producers and they don't mind those hot 90-degree days and days without water either. So I highly recommend cowpeas. And again, I purchased these from Mike over at Ever Oak. You can order them online if you want, and he ships them directly to you. The next thing that you should be planting right now are sweet potatoes. And this is a very special sweet potato that is near and dear to my heart. This is the ube purple sweet potato. These are absolutely delicious. If you've ever had ube ice cream or a ube cupcake, this is the sweet potato that it comes from. I bet you didn't even know it was a sweet potato, but it is. And it grows super easy in Florida. It trails like crazy, so make sure you have a lot of space if you're trying to grow ube. They make these beautiful purple and green vines, like I said, that will take over at least 6 yards. As you can see, this is just one and it's already trailing like this. I put this in the ground about a month ago and did not even water it. So that is how much sweet potatoes just want to grow throughout these hot summer months. So if you want something that you can harvest from with no work, don't water it, don't worry about how hot it is outside, definitely plant you sweet potatoes. And again, I have ube here, but I also have some typical orange varieties too. I also have planted Okinawa sweet potatoes before that did amazing. So definitely plant sweet potatoes if you want abundant harvest all summer long. Something that you should not be planting in your Florida gardens right now is broccoli. As you can see, all of my broccoli has went to flower. I'm sure you didn't even know this was broccoli if you haven't grown broccoli before, but just for example, this is the broccoli head, or what was a broccoli head, and these are the flowers that it puts out. I still have a few in here that I maybe could pick, but it would be a terrible small harvest. Okay, I'll show you. Nothing compared to what I was harvesting just 1 month ago. So right now, if you're trying to start broccoli, I do not recommend it. You should definitely wait until like November when it starts to cool down, but I am gonna eat this piece. It's still juicy, y'all. Don't start broccoli, but if you got broccoli, eat that broccoli. Another pumpkin. There's so many pumpkins. You see that one in there? Here's another thing you should not be planting in May. This is lettuce that has gone to bulk. Right now, this lettuce is getting ready to put out seeds so that you have a productive planting for your next season. That is the succession of its life. This is a cool weather crop, so it does not like the heat. Planting lettuce right now would effectively be the worst thing that you could do with your lettuce seeds. So keep those until around December, January, when temperatures get below 60 degrees. That's when lettuce really likes to thrive. This is another plant that you don't want to plant right now, which is Swiss chard. Any leafy greens other than kale or collards are not a big fan of the heat.
Yeah, because look at this.
Yeah, that looks so
my
sad.
God.
If you guys saw my last tour, we were picking Swiss chard like crazy. We had lettuce everywhere. This lettuce appears to be a slow bolt lettuce, but even the slow bolts right now is not the time to start those. Keep those seeds until they can really thrive in your garden. Another crop that you should not be planting right now, carrots. As you can see, my carrots are struggling. They do not like the heat. They actually grow best in the winter time. they get sweeter when they grow through a frost. So if you don't want bitter, straggly carrots like these, make sure you wait until it gets cool to put these in the ground. Oh my God, I need to use this for something better. Oh God, these are terrible. Nice loomy soil. Yeah, they a hot mess. They a hot mess. Right, old man Bowser. Guess I'm making stir fry tonight. My last two crops for a productive harvest this summer are okra and sorrel. I collected all of these sorrel seeds plus more from just 3 sorrel plants last summer. I'm going to be putting 2 seeds per cell into these Epic 4-cell seed starting trays that I got from Epic Gardening, using Revival Gardening soil to make sure that these seeds thrive until they transplant. These are the okra seeds that I started on 4/19. What is today? The 29th? So these transplants or these seeds are 10 days old, which I found okra seems to be pretty slow in their germination. I also think that I might have put too much water because I see a little discoloration on the leaves. Either way, we're going to be starting these sorrel seeds right now.
Let me see them. Okay.
And like I said, I like to do 2 seeds per cell to make sure that I get the most out of my time. Nobody likes to get crappy germination. That sets you back on your growing season. You don't have to bury your seeds deep. I see people be like, how deep does it need to be, an inch or a half an inch? If you have good soil, your seeds will thrive. So make sure that you're getting your soil from Revival Gardening. If you're local, even if you're not, they ship. I have had the best growing season of my life because of their soil. It's high in organic matter. And if you want to know all of the contents, you can watch the video that I posted with them last week when I took a tour of their worm farm. All right. And now we just water them in. And I'll be eating sorrel jam for months now that I have these planted.
Go ahead.
I'm going to put it on mist.
Yeah, that was aggressive.
The mist looks aggressive
No
too.
chills, eh?
Pro tip, always bottom water so that the roots are encouraged to grow deep and not just at the surface. If you water from the top, the roots like to go where there's water, so they'll stay at the top. If you water from the bottom, they'll grow deep down, just like you like for a healthy root structure. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me again this week for another beautiful gardening video. If you got something out of this, make sure you hit that like and subscribe so that you don't miss any other gardening videos that will make sure that you are growing the most beautiful, abundant garden that you ever have. All right, happy gardening.